Welcome to Mr. O'Brien's AP Music Theory class. Today we're going to be talking about organization in music. In other words, we're going to discuss how the basic elements of music, the basic components we've already learned about, are put together and built step by step to make musical compositions and organized. Musical ideas are organized much like these Russian nesting dolls. Probably you've seen these before. You have a big doll, and then inside of each doll is a smaller one. And that smaller one in the other direction goes inside one a little bit larger, a little bit bigger, and so on. Well, the most basic unit of music is beat. And from that, it's put together much like this Russian nesting doll inside of meter, which in turn becomes phrases, which goes to sections, and then to songs. Let's talk about beat. Beat is the most basic unit in music. Beat is organized by time. Now, music can be fast or slow or medium tempo, all kinds of different speeds. That's not beat. Beat is the pulse of the music. And sometimes that pulse can be loud, it can be quiet. If we think about this as I clap the beat, right, at a medium tempo, you get a sense of what might be a musical composition. And now that musical idea could be fast or it could be very slow. But no matter what that beat is, no matter what tempo it is, fast or slow, it's still not music, is it? It's just something that helps us to hear musical ideas and understand how they will be put together. Our next concept is that of meter. Meter comes from the Latin word to measure. You're probably familiar with a meter stick, like a yardstick. Now, in music, what we're measuring is beats, and we're measuring beats that are grouped together. Beats can be grouped together in all kinds of different combinations. There could be 3 beats, 4 beats, 5 beats, whatever, in what we call a measure. And all of you experienced musicians, you're familiar with seeing measures on a page where you have the vertical bar line that separates measures. Well, that's actually what we're doing. We're grouping together these beats. Now, usually the first beat is accented. The most common grouping is 4 beats per measure, and we've all seen this, 4 beats per measure and a quarter note representing 1 beat. You're familiar with that, but you probably haven't thought about how this organizes music. So let's think about that. When we hear something that's in 4/4, we hear 4 beats per measure with the first beat heavily accented. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That can be all kinds of music, from music from the Middle Ages, Renaissance music, to hip-hop, rock and roll, jazz. Very common form of music uses 4/4. It could be in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like a waltz. Or it could even be in less common things such as 5 or 7. One popular song you all know, Lalo Schifrin's Mission Impossible, bum 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 bum. That's organized in beats 5 to a measure. So, again, we start with beats, which is the pulse of music. Then we put them together into even groupings of beats. Sorry, my battery's getting low. And that's our meter. And the next we put them together in phrases. Well, what's a phrase? Much like in language, whether it's spoken or written, whether you're speaking or writing, or whether you're listening or reading, a phrase is a complete thought. It is an idea. And these ideas are the building blocks of compositions. Now, they're formed from musical elements which we're all familiar with: melody, harmony, or rhythm. They can be simple, like Mary had a little lamb, ba 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 ba. That's a musical phrase. They could be short, like Beethoven's famous the motif from his Fifth Symphony, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. Or they could be long, wonderful melodies like works from Tchaikovsky or something like that. Also, phrases can be organized by chord progressions, the harmony. We can even have rhythm patterns that are phrases. For instance, da 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 da, bum bum. Right? From shaving a haircut, right? We're all familiar with that. That's kind of a phrase built on a rhythm pattern. Now, these phrases can go together to form sections of a musical composition. In classical styles of music, this can get fairly sophisticated. So we're going to start with discussing forms of music with which you're much more familiar. For instance, in popular songs, and we're talking about everything from Stephen Foster songs like Clementine or um, Oh Susanna to more recent songs like Maroon 5 Sugar. A song will often have a verse, a chorus, and a bridge. But usually songs start with some sort of introduction. Now that introduction can be a rhythm pattern, it can be a melodic hook, it can be a quick chord progression or some instrumental riff. It gets the song going. It's the thing we recognize. Now after that will be the verse, followed usually by a chorus. What is a verse? That's the lyric part of a song where the melody is the same each time, but the words are different every time it comes around. Unlike the verse, the chorus, the melody is the same, but the words are also the same. For instance, if we're listening to Maroon's 5 Sugar, check this out. All right, so we talked about that recently in class. We analyzed that song and we broke it down into these formal sections that we're familiar with. Now we're taking and we're putting in the larger concept of these elements which organize music: beat, meter, phrases, and sections. Now finally, when we go to more sophisticated, longer musical compositions, these parts go together to form the whole song or the movements of sections of a larger classical work. And then when you have classical composers, these could even be parts of more longer sectional arrangements, their opus or complete works. Let's review then how music is organized. Much like Russian nesting dolls, the smaller components fit into the larger components, and so on, from the basic unit of the beat to the song. The beat or pulse of the composition is organized into groups of beat, which we call meter. Now, it's still not music until we put a musical idea, either melodic, rhythmic, or harmonic over that, and that is a phrase. Those phrases are linked together to form sections of the song: the introduction, the verse, the chorus, the bridge, or whatever. And when you link those all together, you have a complete song. And that is how music is organized.